You want to know the history of acupuncture? In Chinese medicine, there are four basic therapeutic methods: herbal therapy, moxibustion, acupuncture, and surgery. Acupuncture and moxibustion are the most ancient and characteristic therapeutic methods of Chinese medicine. The main components of Chinese medicine originated from different geographical parts of China. There is an ancient Chinese saying, "A small needle cures 1,000 illnesses." You know what's acupuncture? Acu is a Latin word, means needle. Puncture means penetrate. Acupuncture involves inserting thin needles through person's skin at specific points on the body to various depths. In ancient times, they've been used sharpened fish bones, bamboo sticks, and stone needles instead of metal needles. Acupuncture is the ancient Chinese art of healing and is probably more than 5,000 years old. Though acupuncture is usually associated with Chinese, it's not entirely of Chinese origin. Research has revealed that the Bantus of South Africa, Eskimos, and ancient Brazil practice it. Some believe that acupuncture originated in Indus Valley civilization and then spread to Central Asia, Egypt, China, and other countries of the Orient. There's a strong indication that some form of acupuncture was prevalent in ancient India, and that is traveled through Nepal to China. It's quite likely that it was preserved there and later amalgamated into the Chinese body of traditional medicine. But Chinese claim it to be their own science originating about 5,000 years ago. Chinese have nursed it and brought it to its present level, popularity, and scientific acceptance. It is believed that once a Chinese soldier developed stiff and painful shoulder for which, in spite of his doctor's best efforts, he could get no relief. One day, during a battle, a miracle occurred. The soldier's leg was wounded by an arrow, and suddenly his stiff and painful shoulder of many years could move freely again and without pain. Wise men of Chinese medicine started mapping different points of the human body which had possible similar healing effects. Over a period, they discovered that there existed many points located near the nerve endings which, when stimulated, had therapeutic effects. Acupuncture practice was taught by one generation to the next, with sons inheriting the tradition to healing from their fathers. The first written accounts of acupuncture can be traced to the Shiji historical records circa 200 BC. This work tells of a doctor in the 4th century who became famous for bringing out a prince out of coma by using acupuncture techniques. The Huangdi Jing is an earliest medical classic in China, and it is the foundation of traditional Chinese medicine. It is said to be the oldest medical text in the world. This book consists of two parts, Su Wen and Ling Shu. During Han Dynasty, circa 200 BC, a description of 12 channels and the treatment with moxibustion is also found written on silk scrolls in tombs. Around AD 200 in Jin Dynasty, Huang Fu Mi's classical work on acupuncture and moxibustion was written. It details the accurate location of 349 acupuncture points, and 1700 years later was used as reference for the important modern work Essential of Acupuncture, compiled by the major acupuncture colleges of China. During the rule of Tang Dynasty, medical academies were established and the practice of acupuncture got a further filling. Tongren Shuzu Tujin, compiled by Wang Wei in Song Dynasty. It depicted acupuncture and moxibustion points on life-size bronze figure. Saint Jude Zisheng Jin, published in AD 1220, compiled by Wang Zizong of the Song dynasty. Comprehensively cites materials on acupuncture and moxibustion on past era. Shishijin Fahui, enlargement of 14 channels by Hua Boren of Yuan dynasty. The 17th century marked the beginning of the decline of acupuncture and herbalism in China. This coincided with increasing influences of Western ideas in China. In 1822, a government decree actually banned the practice of acupuncture. In Republican China, the Kuomintang government tried to ban traditional medicine in 1929, but it failed due to protest from traditional doctors. When the People's Republic of China was formed in 1949, many of the revolution leaders were determined to rid their country of old religion and superstition, and to many of them, these also included traditional Chinese medicine. Others, although accepting the usefulness of Western medicine, felt that traditional methods should also be preserved. Stories told while on the long march, Chairman Mao became very ill, and his life was saved by traditional folk medicine. He thereafter became a convert to traditional forms of medicine, instituted a series of research projects in the 1950s about the scientific validity of acupuncture. In 1958, after thousands of tests, members of Central Committee were convinced that traditional medicine was effective, and Western and traditional Chinese medicine were given equal status in the People's Republic of China. During the 1966 to 1967 was given new opportunities to develop. Hospitals and training centers for traditional Chinese medicine were established throughout China. During the Cultural Revolution following the persecution of surgeons and doctors practicing Western medicine was given new opportunity to develop. Hospitals and training centers of traditional Chinese medicine were established throughout China. Many new methods were experimented with, these including needle embedding, point injection therapy, electroacupuncture, and analgesic. As acupuncture became renowned for its effectiveness to pain control, it was introduced as anesthesia during operation, a major step forward from its earlier primary use to control post-operative pain. Experimentation started with minor operations such as tooth extraction and was later extended to tonsillectomy, thyroidectomy, treatment of hernia, and finally to major operations on limbs, thorax, and abdomen. Today, acupuncture is used extensively both for treating serious hospitalized patients as well as in the OPD, and for treating acute as well as chronic cases.